Now it's time for our resident car tuner and all-round engineering supremo, Jimmy DeVille, to get his hands dirty as he shows us how, with a bit of specialist help, we can make our cars perform better.
All over the country, there are loads of specialist tuners, fabricators and workshops who can add a little bit of magic to your car. Today, I'm at Demand Engineering in Ipswich, and their expertise is exhausts. These guys are experts at building bespoke exhaust systems, and today they've agreed to help me to try and improve the power and performance of this 10-year-old Mini Cooper S by adding a brand new sports exhaust. But before we get onto that, let's explain exactly what exhaust systems do. Well, firstly, they stop unpleasant and smelly exhaust gases from entering the passenger compartment by passing them to the back of the car. Secondly, they reduce noise. If our cars weren't fitted with an exhaust system, then the noise could be unbearable, not only for the driver and the passenger, but also for the people outside. I mean, that is seriously loud. And thirdly, they filter out the pollutants created when the engine fires. There are three key components to an exhaust system, starting with this weird-looking set of pipes called a manifold, which attaches to the engine. Now, the complexity of the manifold depends on how many cylinders the engine has. So this would be for a V8, hence there are 8 pipes, 4 on one side, 4 on the other. Now this would be for a V6, hence there are 3 outlets on this side. Now when you're building exhaust, it's right here, you've got to get it right when 3 pipes become 1, because if the diameter of this is too small, you're going to build up a back pressure because the exhaust gases can't escape easily enough, and that make your engine run like a bag of spanners. So I'll be looking to fit a nice wide pipe at this point to make sure this problem is avoided. Next up is the catalytic converter. It takes the harmful emissions, hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide and nitrogen oxide produced by the engine and reduces them substantially. The last part of our exhaust is the silencer. Now this is the silencer from a fairly standard car, and within it we have a series of tubes, perforations and chambers, and it's rerouting the gases around this quite complex route that reduces the sound. A poor silencer can slow down the expelled exhaust gases, meaning the engine doesn't perform efficiently. So I'm going to fit a special type. We're going to be using a silencer like this, which is an absorption silencer. Now this allows the gases to pass through it straight through, but it's this material around these perforations that absorb the sound, changing the exhaust note and reducing the sound. It's this that our exhaust needs. Before I get busy making my sports exhaust, I want to find out what the baseline brake horsepower is on my Mini, with its standard exhaust fitted. And for that, I'm using a man and his portable rolling road. Right, so the guys have just done the first test on the rolling road. This car still has 170 brake horsepower. Normally, cars lose power over the years, but amazingly, 170 horsepower is what this car started life with. But I reckon I can still improve on that. It's time to get this into the workshop and get on with the exhaust. First up, I need to select the right diameter pipe for the Mini. Giving me a hand will be the boss man, Dan. Come on then, Dan. All of this different size tube, how do I know which one is right for our Mini?
Because we're forced induction, so it's turbocharged, we're going to use a bigger diameter pipe than we might use for a naturally aspirated car.
Okay.
So we're going to go for
down here somewhere.
Yep, the 2.5 inch for the front pipe.
Yep, 2.5 for the front pipe.
And then because it's a road car and we're going to attenuate the noise a little bit for the road,
yep,
we're going to bring it down to 2.25 for the back box.
Next, we need to cut the pipe to the correct length.
7.5 feet, please, sir. Push the start button, and that is it.
Now I need to put a little bend into it. This will help to shape the pipe to ensure it fits snugly and connects to the engine manifold properly, without causing any of that nasty back pressure. Okay, this pipe needs a 7-degree bend. I need to turn the hydraulics on, then I need to close the clamp, outer support. Now it's time to do the bend. 7-degree bend. The middle job of building this custom sports exhaust is the catalytic converter. This is the original cat off the Mini, and you can see here this cat has 600 cells per square inch. That's quite a fine matrix, and it's that matrix that stops the particulate and the exhaust gases flowing. Now here we have our Sports Cat. This now has 200 cells per square inch. So that allows exhaust gases to flow better while still taking out the particulate this car needs to run legally on the road. Let's see how that works. Here I have a can of Magician's Smoke. And if I pump this down the original one, not a lot comes out the other end. However, if I get our Sports Cat and do the same, now we have really good exhaust gas flowing. This should give our car the performance it needs. The final part of my sporty exhaust puzzle is the silencer. Time to roll out my high-tech absorption one. This is the silencer going together, and this is all about absorbing pressure waves or sound, and it does that with several different layers. The first layer is a perforated tube, and it sits in the center of the silencer. Now this allows the gases to flow freely, but also through these perforated holes allows the sound or pressure waves to travel, and they travel from that into here. Now the first layer they go through is stainless steel wire wool, and that's really a heat protective layer. From that, the sound or pressure waves travel into this, which is fiberglass hair. That's where I'm wearing gloves because it's rather itchy. And then after that, we have the fiberglass matting, and then on the outside, it's all held together with this skin. With all the component parts of my exhaust ready, all I need to do now is start welding everything together. That's the exhaust done. Now it's time to fit it. Fitting a bespoke exhaust system is worth considering for any performance car. Although obviously there's no need to build one from scratch like I have. That's my handiwork finished. Now it's time to test it out on the rolling road. Adding my new exhaust system means the car's electronic brain, the ECU, has to be reprogrammed so the engine can perform to its best with the new system. It sounds good, but let's see what our handiwork has done to the power output. Okay, that is the rolling road finished with the remap, and the custom exhaust is finished. And this car now has an impressive 209 brake horsepower. That's a 23% increase on its original 170 brake horsepower. In my eyes, that is custom work well worth doing. You little beauty.